Well, just to start off with, again, I mean, you watch the game, and it's exactly what you see when you watch it on film. We were our worst enemy, as we talked about that after the football game, and I talked about it with the football team yesterday. Again, costly penalties that kept drives alive, turnovers that scored points. It was not an effort thing. I thought we got better at tackling. I thought we got better offensively, trying to do the things that we needed to do to be successful in running the football, playing different tempo, doing the things that we need to do. We did not get better at protecting Nathan, and that's very, very important, and we continue to try to strive to do that better, but as it comes down to it, it's a loss. And the bottom line is we didn't score enough points, and we gave up too many points, and they won the football game. So we've got to continue to fight, which is what we talked about doing, and we continue to do. I know this group of football players that we have, want to win as worse as anybody wants to win. And they'll fight and continue to practice. We're going to continue to practice hard and do the things that we think can help us win a football game.
What have you done to try and help protect Nate, and what are you going to try and do going?
Well, we probably got to get off the ball a little bit quicker and, do some more movement-type passing. But with protection-wise, we've kept backs in, we've kept tight ends in to chip and, and help protect. But we've got to continue to strive to do better. It still comes down to a one-on-one battle when they're blitzing, so you got to win.
What's it going to be like for you to be a visitor at Ohio State and also coaching against Urban?
Been there, done it. I've coached there a couple times as an assistant and as a head football coach. It's a great environment. There's no question about it. Coached there as an assistant for the Buckeyes. But, coaching against Urban, I've always, Urban's considered one of my close friends, and we're very, very competitive. And, it's one of those things that the uniqueness of college football has is that you have two friends that get to compete against one another.
Will you talk to him at all this week, exchange any kind of nothing at all?
Right before the game, we'll probably say a couple words and that sort of stuff, but no, not prior to the game.
You talk less to him, Tim, since you've joined the conference.
Yeah, I really have. To be honest with you, talked to him quite a bit last year when he was on TV, but a little bit less, of course, because we are in the same conference.
How did that relationship start? I mean,
it's really started. I guess you'd say his roommate in college at the University of Cincinnati, where Urban was a baseball player and then went down there and played football. His roommate is my close friend, Bill Davis, who's the linebacker coach for the Browns. And that's where we first met when I was at the University of Kentucky and he was at the University of Cincinnati. And then, throughout that, the relationship built when Urban became a graduate assistant at Ohio State. I was a graduate assistant at Auburn. We used to meet at, coaches' conventions and stuff like that. And I just guess the relationship built from there.
And how many years did you work for him?
I was with him for 2 football seasons. Then he went to Utah, and I did not go out to Utah with him. We had a death in our family, and I was not going to move my wife out to Utah at the time.
How good is this Ohio State team in its first year?
Pretty good football team. I mean, it's a lot of the familiar faces that we played last year. Braxton was just getting started, didn't play a bunch against us when I was at Toledo. But a lot of offensive linemen that you've seen before, wide receivers, defensive players. So you can see I think there's 8 back that we played against last year on defense and 7 that are back on offense.
Overdo it and do too much has definitely been an issue that's caused like penalties and fumbles and stuff like that. Is that something that you guys can work on in practice to address, or how are you trying to address that?
Well, any time that there's a personal foul, the young man comes out of the game. We're the third penalized team in the conference. So, I mean, it's not like we're the worst, but it's, you know, you want to be the best. And based on yardage right now, I think it's 48 yards of penalties a game, which, you know, is not what you want to be at, but heck, that's what we're at right now. And we run. They had to run yesterday for, you know, the penalties that they get, and you know, you just keep on harping and talking to them about, let's make sure that you know, that there aren't personal fouls. I'm not that type of guy, and we're going to play clean football, and we're going to do the things that we need to do to you know, project a positive image the way college football is supposed to be played.
Did any of your Toledo teams have particular problems with penalties?
We did. We had some penalty problems the first and second year, and more on the you know, more with the offsides and holdings and things like that of those natures. But we did have a few that first couple years.
And did you do anything in particular?
Same thing. We would run them and you know, take them out of the football game and try to hold them accountable for you know, what they've been doing, and you know, drive it in to just like anywhere else. You don't want to live with penalties, and you know, I really don't think that you know, our guys are intentionally trying to cause penalties. I don't feel that way about this football team, but it's something that we have to get corrected because it did cost us some drives and some touchdowns last week.
You came in with some pretty high goals. You know, you had the bracelets of 12-1, 12. How has that changed? I mean, what's kind of your goal?
Same thing. I mean, we got to win a football game, and that's what we're trying to get accomplished right now. And I know these players are striving to do the same. We've talked about, you know, conquering one day at a time. You know, own the day, as I mentioned before, and you know, in everything that we do. I mean, from what we do in the training room, what we do in the locker room, what we do in the weight room, classroom, community service, all the things we ask our players to do. We want to win the day, and we'll do it one day at a time. So that's what we've been striving and talking to our players about achieving.
How important is it to go over there and put on a good performance? It seems like that's one of your recruiting grounds in Ohio. Is it important to have a good showing over there in that game?
Well, I just want to. I mean, I want to improve each and every time, and yeah, of course, it's going to help in recruiting. But we're going to win a football game. I mean, you go into every game to be a winner, and this football team's going into every game to win. You know, they practice extremely. We practice hard. They've been practicing as hard as we've asked them to, so there hasn't been any lax or anything of that nature happening. You know, it's just we've got to win a football game.
Punt returner, are you making a permanent change there?
Yes, it'll be Terry Hawthorne or Darius Malines, based on practice.
Health-wise, just how is you feeling better about everyone, just and injuries and stuff?
A little bit. You know, Nathan was beat up a little bit after the game, but you know, he's progressing well. He'll be out there on the practice field tomorrow. So we'll see how Steve Hall with his shoulder progresses throughout the week. You know, Justin Staples was dinged up a little bit, but he's getting better. So yeah, it's good. You know, to have all those guys back from the poster for their first game last week was great, and we got to continue to have those guys out there on the football field.
How about Josh?
We'll see. We'll see how he progresses. You know, again, throughout practice, we expect him to be able to practice this week.
Alex Hill got in the game towards
Yeah.
the end. Was that injury, or was that just?
No, we got Alex Hill in the football game because we were giving up a little bit too much inside through the pressure that was happening on our quarterback. So yeah, that's why Alex played.
How about some questions from the phone lines for Coach Beckman?
Yes, Tim Herb Gould. You mentioned after the game Saturday that you felt like you'd learned a lot this fall. Could you talk about some of the things?
Well, you know, it's I guess, you know, you learn how to take defeats in a row. I mean, I hate losing, but it's just how to react to the players after continued defeats. I think is very important. The motivational part is very important, and that's what I'm proud about this football team and how they've responded. Because they don't like to lose. I understand that, but they've worked extremely hard and they've done things right on and off the football field. And if they don't, they know that that's not acceptable. So I guess learning how to continue to motivate and to continue to push your football players to be the best they can be. Those are things that you learn from a winning way and a losing way.
And what's your big key? I mean, Braxton Miller is obviously having a great year.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from your defense to try and, keep him reined in a little bit?
Well, I mean, he's a special football player. I saw it in high school. He was fabulous at Wayne and won a couple state championships, and you knew he was going to be an outstanding college football player. We're going to need to know what Braxton is doing at all times. He's very important to their offense. I know our players, are excited about playing against Ohio State and what they've done offensively the last couple of weeks. I think they're averaging, close to 40 points a game in the last couple of weeks, and he's been a big part of that. So, we're going to need to have awareness of where he's at and be able to put some pressure on him because he can beat you with his feet and his hand and his arm.
Any other questions from the phone lines? Okay. How about here in the room?
What'd you expect from Ohio State this year when Urban was coming in?
Well, I knew they were going to be good. They were, I knew they had some very good talent. I think Urban's doing a great job with the way that he's coaching them, and we're excited about playing them. I mean, they're top, voted on. I'm sure they're the top 10 team in the country. So, there's a reason they're undefeated, and we look forward to going to Columbus and performing the way that we got it. We got to perform the way that we can control with what we do. Very important.
With how he won a couple national championships at Florida, and he's considered one of the best in the country. Is he going to lift up the league? Is he going to set a higher bar for the league to chase? I guess.
I don't know. I don't really think that that's Urban. I mean, I think Urban's just does a great job of preparing and does a great. I mean, he does a good job. He's a good person, and I don't think he looks at his position at Ohio State as elevating the Big Ten or anything like that. He's just trying to make sure that his team, as I'm trying to make sure our team, can elevate their play as well as they can.
How's Steve Hole doing? Is it just the same?
We'll see. Yeah, it's continuing the shoulder.
Is it dislocate? Is that what's?
He's been getting stingers, but it speaks highly for Steve Hole now and what type of young man he is, because he's out there and he might be dinged up a little bit, but he plays with the passion that you look for in a football player.